Welcome back everybody. I've just had a couple of great months of training is what I would like to say, but unfortunately I might never have as much problems as I've had for these past couple of months of training. Pretty quickly after starting off my training year, I was happy with how my body felt. My strength and training capacity felt good. We've just finished off the 5-week habituation period and we're moving into more of a resource period. For this period, I'm trying to maintain a nice volume while improving my performance in things like specific strength, jumping, and explosiveness. Week of this more resource focused period, I'm starting to feel good. I'm getting some more speed in accelerations and I'm running faster in the repeated 30-meter fly sessions. So my fastest run was at 2.90, which is 300s faster than last time. I'm also feeling fresher after each session compared to last month, and my strength numbers keep going up. Now going into week 2, I'm feeling positive. We're starting off the week with accelerations as usual, but on my second 40 meter I managed to pull my left hamstring. I'd like to say it was bad luck, but I think some of the blame might lie in an aggressive volume in the sprinting combined with high intensity in my strength training. So I do want to blame myself for this injury, because I have been increasing the volume faster than I have before. Going forwards, I'd like to keep my strength but holding back a little bit so not to stress my body too much. Also, I'm going to have some better volume management than I've had for the past month. So I started my hamstring rehab not knowing if I would be back to max sprinting in 2 weeks or 6 weeks, but I'm hoping for the best. And already 4 days after my pull, my hamstring was feeling a little bit better, but I couldn't cycle my leg behind my body, so I decided to do some high knee drills where I just ran in front of my body. I kept increasing the intensity as far as I could without feeling much pain or making the hamstring feel worse. After a week, I was trying out some technical runs with resistance before moving on to some technical runs where I increased bit by bit up to 82%. Didn't feel anything in my hamstrings, so that's a good sign. So after that, I kept increasing the intensity bit by bit, day by day, so not to risk too much. Tested out some faster frequency with some technical wicket runs. Those felt pretty good and I'm starting to think I'm going back to normal. after a couple of weeks of rehab, I ran 15 60-meter sprints. Starting really slow and increasing bit by bit up to 295 for a flying 30 meter. Pretty happy with being back to 95%, but I did feel like I could run 5 or 10 more runs, or run 5 or 10 hundredths of a second faster, but I was still holding back just a bit so not to aggravate the hamstring once again. Now on to the next week, I was starting to feel some confidence in my hamstring. I got some good answers from some tests with my physio, and we're starting off the week with some accelerations. We'll usually do some jump tests throughout the year. This week my test results weren't that good, but not that bad either considering I've been injured. On this week's flying session, I ran 293 in the 30 meter fly. I was hoping to go at least 2.89 in this session, so I'm not really happy with where I'm at right now, but I can't complain too much as my consistency hasn't been great at all. I also did some power clean power testing with the Ooyy sensor up to 160 kilos, which I almost made at a body weight of 82.5. I've also been doing some quite heavy 90-degree squats with an eccentric single leg descent. Now doing these over time usually is not good for my sprinting shape at all, but I felt like I had some success last year by doing them for a couple of weeks before tapering off.
So that's that for this week.
Now for another week of training, let's go. I'm starting off the week with accelerations once again, and I'm feeling good. I've not been getting any notable times for the 30 meter for the past months, but 3.89 for the 30 meter is one of the faster times I've ran, at least for the winter training periods. Now moving on to this week's 30 meter flying session, I'm feeling pretty good. Let's see how my first run went. 3:93 for the first 30 meters, pretty fast. And then 2:89 for the final 30 meters, the fastest I've ran this training year so far. I'm hoping to run faster in my next one. Now really good acceleration of 3:90 for the first 30. And then a calf cramp. Of course, a couple of weeks ago I was saying I'm just hoping to stay consistent through December right now, and now already I'm having some more trouble. I might have been just a bit unlucky, but I think this is probably the third or fourth week where I haven't finished all my sessions. I always want to look at every possible reason behind these problems. The training hall, for example, was colder than usual. I was wearing the Nitro 400 Puma shoes, which are really stiff. That yesterday I tested out the seated calf race. I just did like 1 or 2 series, but I think I maybe aggravated my calf. Either way, I can't do much more than keeping this in mind going forward and trying to rehab my calf. I can still do some easy mobility in most weightlifting exercises, so going forwards I'll do whatever my calf allows me to do. For a new week and new problems, I started off testing my calf on the treadmill. My calf isn't feeling that well after my Friday sprint session, but I got some new exercises to do and some massage from my physio. Now going forwards, I'm going to do the same as with my hamstring, just doing whatever it allows me to do without making it worse. So on Monday I tried out some block starts, as I could do 2 steps but not anymore. On Thursday morning I went to the physio, did some testing, didn't film all of those exercises, but the verdict was that my cough is starting to look pretty good, so I got a green light for my sprint training on Friday. I started off with some frequency sprints to test out the cough, and then I moved on to the 30-meter flying runs. Start off with a series of 5 in my regular flats, and I was not really feeling good at all. Relaxation didn't feel that good, my frequency didn't feel that good, step length didn't feel that good, reaction from the ground, nothing really felt good. My fastest 30-meter flying run was 2.99 seconds. I'm probably struggling just a bit because of the stiff soleus. It plays a big part in acceleration, and my acceleration is not that great when I'm holding back. Back. Not great, but we'll try again next week. Now on to the next week. I'm honestly feeling like I've forgotten how to run after all of these small problems for the past couple of weeks. I took some times in the block starts and it's not looking good at all. I'm going upwards instead of forwards, and when I'm relaxing I'm tensing, and when I'm trying to push I'm looking like I don't try at all, so maybe it's just my body holding a little bit back. So the final week of this period isn't starting off very well, but there might be several reasons to this in addition to my cough injury. The fact that I'm doing quite heavy squats while not being able to sprint a lot might be the reason that I felt like I forgot how to sprint, but now I'm moving away from the heavy eccentric squats. I'm just doing some quarter squats. Now the cough started to feel like it was back to 100%, but in some specific movements I could still feel some stiffness. So I asked my physio to put some needles in, and I feel like that helped a little bit after a while. Now for my final 30-meter fly session of these past couple of months of training, start off a little bit easy on the flats and then increase bit by bit. My technique is looking a little bit weird. It looks like I'm not pushing into the ground at all. So I took a little bit of extra rest and finished off this session with 2 30-meter flies at 290 and 295. I'm happy with being back at 290, though I do want to run a lot faster. But overall, I can just be grateful that I'm feeling healthy, and hopefully I can increase the speed a little bit more next week. I don't know if seeing me struggling for these past couple of months is really motivating, but there might be some exercises you can take with you and some lessons to learn for you as well. I don't want you guys to make the same mistakes as I've been doing, like maybe increasing the volume a little bit too fast or chasing strength numbers a little bit too quickly. Training hasn't been that different compared to earlier years, but maybe I've just been lucky before to avoid these problems, or maybe I've just been a little bit more unlucky this year. I'd like to blame bad luck to avoid feeling stupid myself, but that also robs me of the autonomy to make things right again myself. So I'll take the blame for these injuries and hopefully make it right myself next month and next year. I'm going into more of a competition preparation period in January when I'll be going on a 3-week training camp. Make sure you subscribe and click the notification bell to get notified when I post videos from that. If you want, you can check out my training programs and get full insight into my training on patreon.com/sprintsquad. Thank you so much for watching, and an extra big thank you to the channel members and my Patreon supporters. You guys all help me keep these videos going. If you're wondering about anything, feel free to leave a comment, and I'll catch you guys next time on Project Paris. Peace.